for your okay. So before we proceed to the edit part, I'm just going to discuss about how do the adding work because I think I haven't discussed this in the class. Okay. So we have here the controller, home controller. Again, home controller is a Java class that handles requests and process the data or the request for a succeeding response. So basically, they are there listening to the user interaction. They make a request by visiting a link in the browser tab, and then it's going to um, process or compute. It's going to calculate whatever the program logic is in that endpoint or the function that listens for that endpoint, and then it's going to return a response to the user. Okay, so we have here the add endpoint. So what it does, let me just run this one. And we're going to also add other functions. So you will see it. So you have to quickly inspect it if it's running without error, and it's rightly so. There is no error. The program is running at the server, local server, in the port 8080. Okay, so we're going to load that one by opening a browser. The IP address of our local server is simply localhost. The port is 8080. I want you to listen, guys. I'm trying again to discuss these things, even though I already discussed it. Like what I've said, repetition is the key. So I'm taking the patience to repeat discussing this with you as a reviewer. And then let me just load the home route. When you say home route, it's the base route. Okay? It's the route that you don't have to type anything, just the slash. You don't even have to type the slash. It's just going to or it's just going to load the home route, which is this one. So what does do if this is visited or the user made the request towards this endpoint? It is handled by a function that just okay um it pass the list of students. The students is what type of data is that? Anybody from the class? Quickly, can you answer me? What type of data is that? It's an array list of students. An array list of students. I'm passing that object. You call that object. It's an array list object into the view file or our HTML file, which is located in the templates. We place it in the folder templates under the resources because it's a time-lift powered view. It's a time-lift powered view. The engine is a time-lift. It accepts time-lift syntax, so we can access those past object or data from the controller to the HTML code, and we did it like this one. So we are just loading or sending the index.html as we have here. It's a table, okay, and then we iterated that list of students and placed them as of the table with individual object property like ID, first name, last name as the table columns. Okay, table columns yung TD na yan. Okay, we also added here a delete button. Okay, something like that. Okay, and we also added here a link Basically, we can format this, we can say it like that, or according to the codes that I provided you, you can basically create a link by using the time-lift syntax, like this one. Okay? It could be th href is equal to at and then the route, which is add. Let's test that out. You can do it like that one, but that's optional, basically. I restarted it, refresh it, right click on it, and see what is the link. It's basically the same thing, going to slash add. Nothing changed. Okay? Something like that. Now let's try to add for the other property so you can basically see how to work with other form elements. Okay? So as we can see here, our student also accepts other fields like a middle name, suffix, gender, um, birthday, then also address. Let's try to cover them up in our add. So basically, if we're going to click if we're going to click this one, it's going to go to slash add. Okay? Okay. Understood? So this is basically the route slash, which is handled by this function, the function add. Okay? Because this is the definition of that route, of that function that handles this slash route. What it does is, it's just going to, what does it do? It just render a new .html file, which is, again, saved in the templates folder. This one. Okay? And here, you don't need basically to put the .html. It's understood. It's a time-lift thing. Time-lift. Because of the time-lift that is able to be understood. You don't have to do that. So new there is the name or the file name of the HTML that is stored in the templates. You can basically place this in a folder. Okay, you can basically place that in a folder. You can basically make here another directory. Say you name it what do you call it? Crude. Let's try to make it crude. In the new file here, you move it there, refactor. I'm simply putting the new HTML in the crude, and then here to refer this, you place the crude and then new, something like that. So I am rendering a new .html file inside the crude folder. Yeah. No. Again, can you state again your? No, no, no. You don't have to specify the templates already. It's automatic that this is located inside the templates directory. It's only the folder that you create inside it that you have to specify there, subdirectory of the template. If I'm going to run this one, that will just work fine. Okay. If I'm going to go here, refresh, go here, it still works. Because if you cannot find the form, what it will do, say for example, I'm going to misspell that one, Niwa. Restart it again. Pay attention now. I am showing you all the possible ways that we can make it problematic. If I'm going to stop and rerun it, okay, and rerun this one, we will create a problem. Now, we can basically create an endpoint for error like this one. So every time that you run into page that is not present, you always, this one, You always show something other than this one. It's basically very generic. So I can create basically a new file here. I can basically create a new endpoint here to handle error, like this one, at get mapping. What's the difference between get and post again? I'll show you later on. I touched that basically before, but maybe you forgot it already because you have not the habit of taking notes. Like what I've said, guys, you learn the habit of taking notes as a reminder for you later on because I'm not always around to remind you things. Okay? Do that, guys. You can just use your phone, whatever. You don't basically have to write it. The point there is you create a notes. Okay? Let me create an error endpoint. And then, I'm not sorry. There should be not like that. Public, string error. It's just going to return an error like that one. And then we're going to create that error HTML here. Um, one, and then you see it, error, and then you can say, uh-oh, my favorite expression to describe an error, as I saw it on other application. You seem to get lost. Okay. Let me restart that one. And every time you create an error in the request, it's going to render the one. Let me refresh it again. Uh-oh, you seem to get lost. It cannot find this because basically it's having an internal error. As you can see here, there's an error here. Now, to tell you the technique of how can I remove this one? Okay. The technique of looking for an error is basically at the beginning of it. You can have it here or you can have it here. Basically, they are just the same thing and it's basically redundant. So you can take the very first one, which is this one. It cannot find the crude NIWA. As you can see, cannot find the template. As you can see, I deliberately misspelled it. So you can see that it matters that the spelling of this should be the same as the spelling that you have saved it in the folder. Understood, guys? Yes? Sir James, nakuha? Nakuha? Are you sure? Now, another tip. From time to time, I'm discussing, I may remember something to tell you. Because I also became a student like you. Even though we are not identical in how we can process things. But I think there are some principles that you can learn from my experience. Now, some of you may have many things running in your mind. You just have to focus. Just focus. If you have some doubts and question like Mr. Zedrick asked or did a while ago, you are always free to raise your hand and ask. Or you can make also additional statements if you think that I'm lacking something. Do not be afraid. Be engaging. Engage. Okay? Maki-engage kayo. Yung word na engage is para lang dun sa, hindi lang para dun sa magjowa na ikakasal na. Engage is, you involve yourself. Okay? Miss Santa Monica? It signals me that you are, what? It signals me that you are interested to learn. And you know, guys, it helps me. It boosts my quality of teaching. I would do it even more enthusiastically. If you say, no, oh, sir, hindi ko na gets, paki-Tagalog, I would be, I would be glad to do that for you. Okay? Because I would appreciate you being interested in learning. That's what important to me. You are interested to learn, and it doesn't matter how slow you learn. I am also teaching myself. to be patient. Okay? It's a common fact and idea that it's basically draining. But the good thing here is I'm learning how to get it from someone and somebody whose patience never runs out. And it's basically possible, guys, that we can get from him what we don't have naturally, like patience, love, joy, everything. You don't have to produce your own joy. You don't have to produce your own happiness. You don't have to produce your own character. Okay, because they are basically being retrieved from someone who is a giver. I'm talking about God. Okay, maybe I'm going to include things like this in the middle of the discussion so you can basically understand what we are doing here. Okay lang ba, guys? Yeah? Yung tipong ay pinaghalo-halo ka na yung discussion ko. Di-discuss ako about programming tapos sinirelate ko sa lesson sa buhay. Okay lang sa inyo yun? May mga time na I'm very joking. Okay lang. Para naman meron tayong sense of ang tawag doon. Na hindi tayo masyadong seryoso. Pero ang mood ko ngayon, seryoso eh. Okay, let's continue. Sabi ko kanina, we're going to try to use all of the other, I'm going to include all of the other fields for, tawag dito, other fields for the student. What are those? We also have middle name, suffix, gender, birthday, and address. Okay, let's do that. So let me close that one now. I don't need that. I want to go to the slash add. Slash add, where are you? No, slash new, this one, the file. Okay. Now let's discuss a few things here. We have created a form here. Okay. Hopefully you have understood it yourself. The action there, what is action? It points, okay, it points or it directs the submission to a route to process the form fields. In this case, slash save is handled by the method save. So let me go there. Let me go there. If I'm going to go to slash add, refresh it right now. It's not working because I have to restart it. The fix was just added before. I forgot to restart it just after I added the fix on the deliberately misspelled template name. Okay. Okay. If I'm going to click save, listen. If I'm going to click save, what happens? I'm going to send the data to the server. I'm going to make another request, and with that request, I am sending all the data that the user entered in the form fields. Okay? Now, where it is going? The data will go to the route slash save. Okay? It will go to the route slash save. Now, the slash save is basically a post mapping because the form is using the method post of sending. Now, what is the difference? I did not discuss that yet, even in the web dev. Now, let me now discuss it with you. The post method, basically, the post versus get. Okay? The get method sends the data via the URL parameter. So basically, okay, let me do it like this one. If I'm going to make it get, watch what will happen. Restart it again. Okay. If I'm going to refresh this one, say I'm going to Hello, John. Save. Watch what will happen here. Okay? What happened? Do not pay attention here. Because then I'm going to explain to you the reason why it became error. What happened? These are the data of the form. These are the data of the form, the things that are entered in the fields. Now, kapag ang ginamit natin ay get, guys, listen, get. Pag ginamit natin ay get out, get out, sabi mo nga, get. Siya, get out. Okay. Pag ginamit natin yung get, yung mga data ay may transmit sila to the server via the URL. They become a URL parameter. And as you can see, it's very obvious. Obvious siya, hindi siya hidden. And may limit din yan. It can only accommodate 2,000 characters. Meaning, pag nag-submit ka ng form data via URL, very limited. That's very limited. Chances are, may hirapang may papadala yung mga data mo from your form pag masyadong madami. That's basically 2,000 or wait, let me just show you kung ilang bytes yung pwede niyang i-transform. That's basically depending on the browser. Okay? Aside from the 2,000, okay? Si Chrome kasi, it could accommodate 8,000 characters. Si Firefox, 8,000. Si Internet Explorer, 2,000. Ilang characters yan? Hindi siya na-determine by byte, but it's basically determined by the number of characters. So meaning, this is basically limited. Kapag nag-transport ka ng data from the form, pag click mo yung save, via the method, ano yung method na yon? The method get. At isa pa, hindi ka pwedeng mag-upload ng file using get method. You always have to use the post. Now, kapag post naman, tignan nyo ito mangyayari ha. Tignan nyo ito mangyayari. I-edit ko lang ito para hindi siya mag-redirect muna. Alisin ko muna to. Alisin ko din to. Ayaw ko munang mag-save. Okay. Ang i-return ko lang maybe is blank string na lang. Okay. Nag-return ako ng blank string. Like the one. This will create an error, obviously. Let me restart it. This what will happen. This is what will happen if we're going to use the post method. Listen carefully. I know you already see this. Maybe some of you have made an advanced study, but I'm explaining how it works. Let me refresh this one. Blank form. Look at this one. If I'm going to type hello, Monica, like that, click save. Watch out for this again. Nothing is here, right? Nothing is appended. Now, how can we see, or where are we going to see where are those data being sent? Okay. If I'm going to right-click this one, our browser, this is basically available on most browsers. You will see this inspect here. You call this the developer tool. It is your tool as a developer. Now, typical user do not necessarily use them. Now, if I'm going to click inspect, okay, you go to the network tab, nothing happens here. Now, let me just clear this one. Let me refresh before going there. Then right click, inspect, and then network. As you can see, nothing is listed here, but here in the network tab, it basically monitors all requests. It could be incoming request or outgoing request. Yung incoming, guys, yung incoming is from this form going to the server. Sorry, mali yung word ko. Kapag outgoing, palabas. Okay, let me just open my MS Paint. Mas fun sa inyo eh. Mas magaling kayo pag merong drawing eh. Okay. Ang sabi ni Regine, gawa tayo ng stick dito. Ang payat ni Regine, ah. Okay. Sir, pinapatagal mo eh. I'm just trying to make some fun. So, hindi naman tayo. Regine, halimbawa, iso si Regine. Regine, kaway-kaway ka nga dyan. Kumaway ka nga, Regine. Ginagawa ko ito kasi may mga ganyan sa inyo na estudyante. Yung iba sa inyo, well, I understand may iba sa inyo, seryoso. Pero let's give chance for the other people na ganito lang sila magkuhan. Mag-isip, hi, Regine. Tapos nandito rin yung crush niya. Sino yung crush mo, Regine? Wala? O, sige, wag na tayo mag-drawing ng another chick man. Now, let me go with the browser. Yung tinatawag nating incoming. Makinig ka, Regine. Oy, Regine, makinig ka. Incoming. Tapos meron din tayong outgoing. Okay? Pag sinabi nating incoming, halimbawa ito yung server. Paano tayo mag-drawing ng yung yan. On the spot ito, server. Yan. Ito yung server. Kapag incoming, mag-drawing tayo ng arrow. Yun, ito. Kapag incoming, the data is coming from the server. Kapag outgoing naman, the data is initiated. Sorry. The data is, bakit ayaw mong babaliktad? Yun pala. Pag outgoing naman, the data or the request is initiated by the user. Okay? So basically, sa point na ito, dito yung si user or si Regine. Lagay na lang natin siya sa box. Yan. Tingnan natin kung may move na dito. Ayan, si Regine. Okay? Sayo-sayo ka nga, Regine. Si Regine, yan yung nagbabrowse ng internet. Pag incoming, usually ang nauna is outgoing, di ba? Mag-request mo na siya si Regine sa server, tapos si server sasagot siya, yan na yung incoming, yan yung makikita niya doon sa browser. Nakuha yung illustration? Okay, as you can see in here, okay, steady ka lang dyan, Regine. Next time si Jacob naman gagamitin natin. Halimbawa, mag-request ako to add. Watch nyo ito. Magpapadala yan ng outgoing request. Ito siya, yun. Sorry. As you can see, it's making a request to the /add. Now, mag-submit tayo ng data. Ang response niya, ito. Ang response niya ay yung HTML na nakikita nyo na ngayon. Coming from the server. Now, mag-submit ako ng data. This is a post, Hello, Regine. Okay, let me just close this one. Okay. Watch nyo ulit to. Pag sinave ko ito, gagawa siya ng another request, which is this time, it's a post request. Going to save. Okay. At look at this. Pag i-click ko ito, yung headers niya, or payload yung kargada niya, yung laman ng fields. As you can see, nandun na yung first name na data and then last name na data which is being retrieved by the server. As you can see, hindi nyo siya nakikita dito. Post data are transmitted in the background. Hindi nyo nakikita kasi hindi siya nakalagay dun sa URL. Okay? Nakuha yung difference? So in other words, tago si post and also it can accommodate greater data. Yan yung ginagamit for uploading file. Alam niyo ba yung mag-upload? Mag-upload kayo ng picture sa Facebook. Form lang yun. Itatransmit niya via form. It's a post request. At pwede nyo makita, ma-inspect yung request na yon using the developer tool. Okay? Understood, children? Okay, very good. Now, let's just fix this one. Regine, dyan ka muna. Baka bisitahin ulit kita mamaya. Okay, let me just fix this one. Like the one. Like the one. Now, we're going to also account for the other fields. Kasi ang meron lang tayo dito ay ang first name and then last name. At hindi pa siya masyadong maayos. So, proper formatting lang tayo mga besh. Ano pa yung mga kailangan natin? Last name. We also need to... Okay, tignan nyo nga yung kailangan nating fields para tanungin ko na lang kayo. Middle name, suffix, gender, birthday, and address. Okay, tandaan nyo yan. Okay, next. Lagyan natin ng middle name. Okay? Middle name. So, isahin talaga natin. Okay? M name. M name. Money. Yan. And then, this should have the same. This should have the same as what we're going to place in here later on. Para uniform tayo, gayahin na lang natin yung casing ni model. Saan yung model natin o yung class natin? Ito. So, middle name. So, gamitan natin siya ng middle name. Tulungan nyo ako, sumagot kayo. Okay? I want you to be I want you to be engaging. I want you to be engaged rather, and I want the class to be engaging and interactive. Ano ang next? Okay. Suffix. Ngalanan natin siya ng suffix. Suffix. Tignan niyo ito, nag-error yung red na yun sa HTML pa lang. And then, suffix. Now, habang ginagawa nyo yan pala, huwag nyo nang kalimutan, dagdagan nyo na rin ito. Ang second na field is, hindi si last name, kundi si, so pwede nating i-ganito para mas readable siya. Ganyan na lang. Yan. Ganyan. Ang next ay, yon. Buti na lang, magaling itong natin. Anong next? Hindi address. Sorry. After ng last name, si suffix. Okay? Okay, now, ano pang next? Next. Mag na 9:30 na. Ang bilis naman. 9:30 na? Ang bira. Tuloy natin ito bukas. Okay? Suffix, anong susunod ba dito? Gender. Maraming mga pwede natin gamitin kay gender. Anong pwede? Listen. Anong mga pwedeng field na pwede natin gamitin for choosing an option? Select, radio button, ano ba? Yan lang, select and radio button. So, pwede ka bang checkbox? Isa lang yung option. Radio button or the select. Pwede natin gamitin yung select, pwede rin natin gamitin yung radio button. For gender, kasi dalawa lang naman, mas maganda yung radio button. Okay? Dalawa lang ba ang gender? Gusto nyo dagdagan? Okay. Tuloy natin ito bukas. Okay? Tagal talagang mag-discuss. In our discussion yesterday, which we were not done, I'm recording this for the purpose of providing you a reference in the future, which you can always go back and watch. So you can, what do you call this? You can basically master the things that we are studying in the class. Okay? So are you ready? If you're ready, I'm also ready. If you're not ready, I'm not gonna be ready. Are you ready, guys? How about those who are online? Can I see your thumbs up? Okay, very good. I see it already. Okay. Now let's proceed. So yesterday I was talking about the two type of um, requests. What are the two type of requests which we can also use as a form method in submission? What are the two request method, guys? Ah, get and post. The difference between the post and the get post is for the get request, we have to use the get mapping. For the post request, we have to use post mapping. Okay? Post mapping is typically used or mainly used when we are submitting data from the client. Who is the client again? The user of our application. When the user sends data to the server for processing. Typically, we use the post mapping, but we can also use get to transmit data, but they are relatively smaller than the data that we can send using the post method. Understand that? Okay? Now, yesterday we are trying to rebuild the form so we can accommodate all of the what do you call this? All of the other fields for our student class. Okay, which we have here: first name, last name, middle name, suffix, gender, birthday, and then address. We're trying to fill it in all of them there. Okay. Now, the text editor that we are using is good because even though we are on the HTML, it is showing us some potential errors. And basically, yes, this is potential error because what's the reason that this is marked as error? Anybody from the class? Cedric, what's the reason? I already stated my question. Kinig. Okay? I want you guys to listen. Oh, Charles, what is the possible reason bakit error siya? Hmm? Anybody from the class? Jonas? Ulysses? Jello? Magparehas, or in other words, you should not reuse an ID. It should be unique. Okay? And this should go for gender, and this should be also for gender. As you can see, guys, like what I've said, this is very cool because as you can see, it cannot find the form field that has the ID gender. Look at that. Okay. Basically, this editor, you can use this basically for our web dev because it's already highlights the error for us. But technically, that doesn't create a render error. Okay. Render error, when I say a render error, it's not going to be rendered on the browser. But basically, it is still considered an error, and we can expect some other errors and problems later on if we are not going to deal with it. Okay, so we're done with suffix. We want that the name attribute, listen, the name attribute corresponds to the parameter name that we have placed here. And basically, itong tinatawag na name dyan, yan yung tinatawag na variable that will store the value of this form field itself. Okay? So nakita niyo nung sinubmit natin yung form, yung pangalan ng field yung pangalan ng variable that the field value is assigned to is the name itself. That's the purpose of the name. Okay? Yung ID naman is to make it connected to the form. It doesn't have to be the same, but you can make it the same. Pwede rin uniform yung kwan. Pwedeng palitan nyo itong last name, ganyan, so long that you have to edit this. You can also do that. But it is strict. It's not strict here, but it is strict, Jack, na ang pangalan ng name ay dapat kaparehas niya yung nandito. As in, pati spelling at saka yung case. Otherwise, mag-error yung form submission pag mali yan. Okay? Understood? Understood, mga people? Okay, let's proceed. Shall we proceed? Okay, kulang pa tayo ng form field, yung gender. Katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo kahapon, there are multiple ways we can present a field that a user can choose from. A user can choose from a set of possible values. Maalala nyo yung math nyo, yung domain of a function. Domain of a function. As far as I remember, those are the set of values that is possible for the given function. Now, in here, kung di kayo makarelate niyan, never mind, hindi naman kailangan mo na-gets yun. Si gender kasi may pagpipilian, di ba? Ano yung mga pagpipilian? Okay, so ito, add new student. Tingnan nyo ito, oh. Kung ganyan kasi, kahit ano pwede mong ilagay. Ano ba yung accepted? Female. Pero paano kapag tinatamad yung user na to make the experience better, the user experience better, you just have to select from a possible values. So we can use, there are two ways we can do that. One way is by using radio button or drop down list or select. Let's try to implement both for you to see. Unahin na natin yung drop down list, which is something na unahin natin yung drop down list or the select list, which is between the two, it's preferred to use the radio button. Okay, it is preferred to use the radio button, but let's just use the select list. This is the format. The format is like this. We begin with select tab, press enter. Oops, I think it should be tab. Then we place here the name. The name is gender. It should be again the same as the thing we're going to place here. So let me just put it here at request param string gender. This should correspond to this. The ID should correspond to this. And then inside it, we're going to indicate the possible values by using the option tag. This is the counterpart of LI in UL and OL. Ano na ulit si UL at saka OL, Dik? Si UL ay unordered list. Gagawa ba yun ng bullet? Hindi. Gagawa si UL. Kapag OL naman, ordered list, anong gagawin niya? Instead na bullet. Number. Galing mo ah. Very good. Okay? So, yan yung counterpart niya. Iso si OL or UL, ito yung LI. It's a list of things. But this is a field. Ito yung value na ma-return. For example, gamitin natin mga laging mali. And then the display value will be male. This will be the thing that you will see on the form when it's rendered. This is the value that will be submitted when that is chosen. Okay? And then, another option is female. Si female is Iron Man, di ba? Naniniwala ba kayo mga female ay Iron Man? Naniniwala ba kayo? Hindi nyo ba nakita yung ganito? FE is a symbol for iron. And then male is man, Iron Man. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let me restart this one. Start and run. Fresh. Yun ang effect niya. Okay? You can choose that. Yan ang tawag natin sa option. Take note of this kasi gagamitin nyo rin ito sa WebDev. Okay? Basta sa WebDev, dun tayo mag-aral about sa styling. Huwag na nating aralin dito ang styling and the rest. Dun na lang tayo sa WebDev. Okay? So, collab yung two subjects natin. Or, we can also use, okay, what we can also use, guys, is radio button. How do we do that? Ganito yung mag-comment sa kuna. Ganito yung mag-comment sa HTML. Yung radio button is input din siya, pero ang type niya ay radio. Yan o. Hindi radio ng papatugtugan na. Okay, so gender will be gender. I don't think we can use. And then for the other option, this should also be the same name. Ito, we're not just going to use the ID, or maybe we can just use I'm just going to use that because I'm just going to remove this one. That's not necessary anymore because we have two things. The value will be the things that we want to be displayed. The value will be female. And then, or ulitin natin yung laging mali. Value will be female. Let's render this one. Okay. Okay. Refresh. Ayun na oh. Look at that. Wait, lalagay natin mamaya yung label niya. The reason why I can only select one from this list is they have the same name. You can only select one value. As far as I see, we have to put the one dito. Oh, no, not div. Input. Let me try this one. Okay, or ewan ka no. Let's try it. Wait. Yeah, binigay ko pala yung pan na yan. Wait lang. Let me just look into it kasi ito siya memorize. Cedric, naayos mo na yung sinasabi mo kahapon? Ha? Pwede mo i-share yung solution? Ayaw mo? Okay, fine. Doon tayo ka radio. Yan o. Yon. Sabi na nga ba? It should be, the label should be in that part. Okay, ganyan dapat. Value. Ganon. Okay. Mali yung implementation ko kasi I have to place this in a separate label. Instead of using label here, pwede kong gamitan yan ng pwede lang label naman. Hindi naman bawal na label ang gamitin dyan. Okay. Tapos, here, just after this, I'm going to add label for gender male. Then I'm going to change this one to the ID rather, not the name. ID is equal to gender, male. And then this should be male. And then as after here, I'm going also to have the gender female. And then like that one. Female. Female. I also have to add the ID. Like that one. Let's restart it. Stop and rerun. Okay, look at what happens. If I'm going to click this button, refresh, nothing changed. If I'm going to click this one, that will be selected. Or I can click on the field itself or the label. That's the effect of label 4. Okay, this male, if I'm going to click this first name, it's going to shift the focus on the field for the first name. That's the purpose of label. Okay? Middle name, nakita nyo? Did you see it, Jessica?
Yes, sir.
Yan, yan, yan. And I can pre-select this one by using the selected. Like the one, save. Selected meaning we can specify the default selected whatever this. Refresh. Up. Wala. Wala siya. Nakalagay. I think there's a value for that. It should be selected is equal to true. Let me try it once more. I want to default the value to the male kasi lagi silang mali. Refresh. Ayaw niya. Radio pre-selected. Okay, it's not selected. It should be what? Start with letter C. Should be check. Okay, let's default the value to, you should have a default value, otherwise mag-error yung program natin dito on. Okay? And gender, and then we also have the local date, request param. Let's try this one. Local date, and then birthday ba yun? Yeah, birthday. Import the class. Let's try if it's going to automatically convert it to local date. Otherwise, we're going to change. We're going to change it later on. So the new, we're going to also have another div here. We're going also to have another div here. And this time, this will be birthday, B-day, B-day, yung gamit sa Kubeta. Laging masaya dun sa CR kasi pag may B-day doon, laging may celebration. Di ba, Charles? Hi, Dars? And the type should be date to use a, what do you call that? Date picker. Okay? You should have used the date picker. This is the effect of it. Refresh. Look at that. It's already auto-check. And then the birthday will be like that. This is basically an improvement to HTML. Previously, we have to use a JavaScript to do this thing. But it's already naturally available for HTML. Okay? I'm going to look later on if this is automatically converted to local date. Otherwise, we're going to do differently. I don't know it. I haven't tried it. But we're going to try it later on. And then the last thing is, we're going to have a address. An address could be since it's a multiple text thing, we can use what? Text area for that. Just like this one. So we can have for address, and let's call this address. The ID should be address. The name should be address. Again, this should reflect to the parameter name we have identified there. Okay? And no, sorry. It should not be a input. It should be a text area. Let's remove this one. And there should be text area in there. How to create the text area? I already placed that on the I already played on the wiki that I gave you. Hopefully you have read that. This one. This one. I already gave you that. Hopefully pinag-aralan niyo yan. Okay? And then we can specify how many lines and how many columns that it's going to be to have its default. Okay. Look at this one. If I'm going to save this one, the default will look like this. Stop and rerun. Refresh. There you go. That is the text box. Looks like that. We can basically increase that if we need it. We can specify the number of rows. Say 4 rows. And also the columns. Sorry, calls. Could be try 40. Restart and refresh. And refresh again. Look at what the effect of that thing is. There you go. It's very large. You can just make it like that one, maybe 20. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can, basically the number of rows is how many lines it can accommodate until, how many lines it can accommodate, which is directly visible. But for longer text, you can always make it blah, 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 blah. This is similar to the Facebook text everything when you're going to type so long or type a long text, something like that. But that's just too big for me. I'm just going to have the 2 lines and this should just be 20 columns. Now let's try to submit this and verify that's going to it's going to work with this one, because as you can see in my new student, okay, I can now use the constructor in here. So I can already pass here all the fields value. Okay, for the set ID, I can just copy this. Do you want to use the constructor? You can do that. You just have to call this one, or you just have to use that constructor in here. Like I'm going to generate a new ID, place it here, comma. The second thing that I can place there is first name, middle name, last name. So ilagay ko lang dito, first name, middle name, last name, and then the second thing is birthday, suffix gender birthday. Suffix gender, let me just put it in, birthday, and then another address. Do you follow? Let me try this one. Okay, save that one. And I'm going to also display other fields here. Like let's have the birthday. We can have the birthday. Okay. TH birthday. But I have the option to display everything here. But to cut it short, I'm just going to display the birthday. So I can show you how to format birthday in a manner that, what do you call this? In a manner that readable. Okay? And it's different from how we entered it in the form field. Okay, this should be birthday. We have a getter for birthday already, I suppose, but I have to check it first. Get birthday. Do you have a get birthday already? We don't have it yet, so we're going to create a getter for that. I'm just going to do it here. Public void get birthday, get birth date. Kaiba kasi sila eh. Sorry. Let me just rename it. Birthday, I'm just going to use that one. This, Control C. I'm just going to change it with this one. They should be the same. Okay? Set birthday. Yeah. And then, this should be get birthday. Okay. Oh, sorry. Listen. This and this should be identical with the name of the class variable. So it would be automatically identified. Okay? And then since this is basically a function and we prefix it with set and get, then of course we have to begin it with capital B to follow the camel case format. Take note of that. And then for the get birthday, we just have to return a string. Okay, it should just have to be a string. Okay, we're just going to format this one. Okay, let me just look quickly how we can format that one. Okay, we can format the birth date by return, nandiyan na pala oh. Galing. But I want this to be I'm going to have January, Jan 1, Jan, Jan, MM, the single date, and then the four character, 4-digit, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to stop and rerun this one. But I think it's going to create an error because our data initially doesn't have. Uh-oh, you seem to get lost. There's a problem. Basically, it's an internal problem. Because it's null. Wala kasi tayong nilagay dun. So maglagay tayo ng, may checking na lang tayo dito. If it's null, then we are just going to return. If birthday is null, we're going to return blank string. That's not going to create a problem anymore. But of course, to try it out, let's create maybe the new things that we're going to add already for that will serve as our sample. Okay, as you can see, remember that one, it created an error because the problem is, listen, let me just point out to you, listen everybody, I want you to understand. When I created those student object, I did not set for a value for the birthday. Now, when I come back here, I'm trying to format my birthday to something, but that is not yet set. The initial value will be null. Okay? So it created an error. So I just have to check whether birth date is null or not, or it is set or not. As you can see, in my home controller, I never set them. I just set the first name and the last name. The rest of the field are not set. But we can enforce later on to make it strict that certain fields should be required. Okay? They should be required. But to counter that, a temporary fix will be, we have to check whether it's null, then we just have to return a blank string. Otherwise, we can proceed to doing this. And take note, the keyword return works like a break. Listen, the return works like a break. When that is encountered, it's not going to already proceed in this line. It's just going to do this, cut this off, and return to the calling function. That's how it works. Or in our regard, it's going to go back the control or the execution focus will be placed back to our home controller class. I'm going to return that one. To restart it. As you can see, we don't have the birth date. Or we can also, instead of blank string, um, instead of blank string, we can basically place something here. Not set or unknown. Maybe we can just have unknown here, like that one. So we have something in refresh. It's unknown. Now let's create a new. Who wants to go here? Yellow Malupit. Last name. Pet Malo. Suffix. Junior. Birth date. Okay. Pwede nating iset yung initial value nito. Nasa setting lang na XML. And pwede rin nating i-disable yung mga future dates that has not yet passed. Pwede rin yan. Ay, sorry. sorry. Nakakalito siya. Yan. Save. Yehey! Tama ba yung sinet natin? Yes. Isa ba? Sinong pwedeng ilagay natin dito? Jack. Pogi. Malupit. Magpinsan sila ni Jello. Pero senior na siya. Okay. Ibig sabihin, may mga anak. Meron na siyang apo. Okay, so ang edad na niya ay mga ate,
Sir, mali yung napasay mo.
okay lang. Kahit ilang beses kang pabalik-balik.
Hindi, sir.
Basta ikaw. Ganun. Break ulit. Okay, nice. Address. Anong address mo, Jack? Okay, save. Ayun. Si Jack Malupit. Birthday niya February. Tama ba yung sinelect natin? Tama ba, 19? I mean, ito ba yung pinili natin kanina? Yes? In other words, ito oh. Ito, ang galing ng Spring Boot. Look at this. In the background, pino-format na niya agad yung birthday into local date. We don't have to do that ourselves. Kung hindi sana pumasok ito, meaning hindi ito ganito. Okay? Ang galing. Okay, the second thing is, try natin yung ganito. Huwag tayong mag-input ng something. I-save lang natin. Look at this. Save. Nag-error kasi walang laman yung mga fields natin. Look at this one. Ito yung error niya. Required request parameter birthday for method parameter type local date is present but converted to null. Ang naging error talaga is yung date. Okay, lagyan natin yung date pero tignan natin kung gagana yung other fields. Yan. Save. Gumana siya pero walang laman. Yun nga lang, yung birth date guy, yun yung nagkakos ng error. Bakit? Bakit kamo? It cannot convert the local date to null. Cannot convert the local date to null. The solution to this is basically this. We have to specify a default value for our date. We can make it here, katulad nung ginamit nyo dun sa codes nyo, na mag-set kayo ng required, tapos ang default value niya ay false. Okay? Ang other alternative to that is if we are going to allow null values, we can specify it Wait lang, hanapin ko lang yung codes ko. Ito. Request param. And then, we can have at, wala. Default value. Ang default value natin, say, null. Let's try that. Ay. Default value will be, wait. This should be the default value that is coming from the, kung walang sinupply si Kwan user. Ang kwan dito, basically guys, is ito. Ang alternative niyan, basically is this one. Para to make sure that the user always give us a valid date, we can make here required. And then mag-proceed. Look at this. Before we can, but I want also to counter this one. Wait lang. Either this and either there. Wait lang, wait. Either that, kung walang binigay si Juan, halimbawa ito, wait. Ito yung pwede nyong gamitin. We can also make this required false. Meaning, pwedeng walang inilagay si user at walang maiseset na birthday. Pero kapag gusto nating required, we can also make it required true, which is by default, that's just it. Or, we can use a default kapag empty. Look at this. Lagyan natin ito ng... Lahat ba dito nakakaunawa ng Ilocano? Okay. Awan na agad na. Default value ko pag hindi siya naglagay ng first name, itong magiging value. And then, hindi rin natin nire-record si birthday para hindi mag-error. And then, alisin ko muna ito, saka ko mamaya ipakita yung effect niyan. Restart natin. Natututo pa ba kayo? Natututo pa kayo, guys? Okay, good. Refresh ko yan. Sir, bakit wala na yung old data? Any question? Kasi in memory lang yung mga create natin, hindi siya nasisave sa disk. Saka natin gawin yan. Tignan nyo, isave ko ito, wala akong laman. Tignan nyo. Anong expect nyo mangyari dyan? Mag-create siya ng new object, pero yan yung default niya kasi walang value. And then, wala din siyang birthday kasi hindi naman natin siya ni-record. Katulad ng ginawa natin dito. Nakuha, mga friends? Listen? Pero, pwede naman natin itong required. Yan, lahat ng mga fields na kailangan dapat may value before submission. Put a required in there. Tignan nyo itong mangyari. Required ba si last name? Yeah. Si middle name, hindi required. Hindi required si middle name. Si first name, required. Si suffix, hindi rin required. Si gender, required yan, pero meron na tayong default. Hindi ka pwedeng makapag-uncheck dito. Look at this. Hindi ka pwedeng makapag-uncheck dyan. Pag clinic mo, hindi mo yan ma-uncheck. Meaning, in other words, meron ng laging value yung gender. So you don't have to make this anything required in there. Yung birth date, required din. Address, gusto nyo bang required? Wala. So, punta ako dito, alisin ko na lang yan. By default, required lahat. Ito na lang yung palitan ko. I want it to be funny. Lagay ko na lang dito. Ang default niya dito is mapukpukaw. Yan. Okay? Restart natin. Look at this. Balik ako dito. Refresh. Pag clinic ko ito, hindi yan mag-proceed. Listen. Hindi mag-proceed kasi required. Pero pwedeng ma-counter yan. Kailangan pa rin natin ng server logic to avoid blank fields. Saka ko na yan ituturo. Okay? Pero at least makontent na muna tayo sa client-side validation. Ang tawag dito guys, listen, is client-side validation. Pero kailangan din natin ng server-side validation kasi pwede nating i-edit yan. Bago i-submit ni user yan, i-enforce niya yung gusto niya, isa-submit niya kahit na kulang yung field niya, pwede niyang alisin ito, tignan niyo ito. Alisin ko yung record dyan, gagana na yan. Tignan niyo ninalis ko Kanina nung nag-submit ako, hindi ako makapasok kasi record dyan. Pero pag mag-save ako, in-accept na niya. So, kailangan din natin ng server-side validation. Pero saka na yon. Pero i-refresh ko na lang to go to the blah, blah, blah. First name, Dars Pogi It. Malo, Pet. Male siya. Birthday niya is 18 today. Walang address, save. Look at that. Ipakita natin yung address para makita niyo yung value ng address. Punta tayo dun sa student. Meron na ba tayong get address? Wala pa. Context action, create getter and setter for address. Lagyan na lang natin sila lahat. Create getter and setter. Ayan, para hindi na natin imano-mano yung maggawa ng getter and setter. Okay, tapos punta tayo dun sa index natin. Ilagay din natin dito yung address. Yan. And then, ilagay natin dito yung address. And make sure, guys, parehas sila ng location kung ID ang first dyan, dapat ID yung first mo doon. Yung first name mo, second, dapat second din yung first name mo na TD yun. Okay? Refresh natin. Add new student. Okay? Dars, Charles Darwin. Darwin pangalan mo? Sino naniniwala sa theory of evolution dito? Do you believe in theory of evolution? Yeah? Okay, we respect your belief, but in my honest opinion, we do not came from apes. Okay? Andres, say, look at that. Mapukpukaw because we have a default value for that if it's not set. Okay? And of course, the delete perfectly works perfectly fine. The second thing that we are going to deal with is the edit. The edit is just similar with the form. The technique is just like this. We just have to recreate that. Okay? Okay, I'm going to copy this one and then paste it here. And then I'm going to rename it to edit. Basically, they have the same content, but they have the initial value already. So this is the edit. We have to create an edit controller there. Edit. Let's have another controller. Saan na siya? Dito. Get mapping. Edit. And then public string edit. Request param ID. Return edit. But before just adding that edit, we can also bind a param already. This way. Pwede rin ganito na yung gawin natin, mas simple. Yung binigay ko na codes nung nakaraan, meron na doon yung using model binding. We're going to use a model, the specific model for it. Something like this one. Wait, let me just look into that. Meron na pala akong codes yan. Tignan ko lang. Hindi ko siya memorize. We still have 5 minutes. Dun tayo sa edit. Okay? Aside from this, we also have a model, like that one. This is the ID that's coming from the user request. When we click the edit button or link, it's going to go to this. Okay? And then, we're going to create a function. No, we cannot do that here. We just have to return this one. Student S. Okay. If, like the one, ang galing naman nito, meron siyang AI. Model attributes is student, and then return edit. Kung that's not available, we're just going to redirect to the home. Okay? Save that one, and then I'll go to my index. I will add, instead of delete here, I'm just going to use action to also include, to also represent other actions that I can perform. The other actions that I can perform basically is edit. This is edit, and then this should be edit. Okay? And then in the form, still have 3 minutes. Okay. In the edit, we can pre-populate the value of the field by this one. Save this one. Let me give you a sample. We have to, this should be not saved. That should be handled by the update, what do you call this? Endpoint. And then in here, we can pre-populate that field with a value by, I'm setting its value to the value that's coming from the model, from the, what do you call this? From the controller. So the value of this will be student dot ID, which is, not ID, it should be the first name. Student. Okay, student, this one again guys corresponds to this. Okay? Pinasa natin yung object. Anong ginawa natin dito? We look up the student's array list. We get the specific student whose ID is the same as the ID that's coming from the request, which is coming from this one. This is the value of that one. Okay? Are you still listening? This one is being captured by this one, and we use that to filter our list. We get the specific student having that ID, and then we get that and send it. We get that and send it to the edit HTML. If it cannot be found, the logic basically is just going to redirect to the home. Like for example, this one. If I'm going to, for example, I'm going to delete this. Oops, it's already deleted. Sorry. Wait. Let me just do it this one. We still have 1 minute. I'm going to refresh that. Stop. I'm going to continue the discussion next meeting. Refresh. Edit. You seem to get lost. Let's look at the error. There could be some error. Template. Okay. The problem basically is this one. It should not be edit. It should be crude/edit. It cannot find it. Refresh. It's working already. As you can see, it's pre-populated. Listen, if I'm going to type other ID there, press enter, it's basically, you seem to get lost, but what I'm expecting basically is this one, but there could be problem here. Because of this. So, but if it's smaller number, it's just going to go back here. Edit. You just have to follow the same thing. Okay? Goodbye, guys. See you again next meeting.
Bye, sir.